Hello guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about are these Mora knives that a lot of us carry. I've carried one for several years now. Mine is the Mora carbon that I carry on my hip. And somebody was asking in a Facebook group how to stop this, how to prevent this patina. And you know, really, there's not really any way to keep your knife from tarnishing. It's going to tarnish. If it's a carbon steel blade, that's what carbon steel does if it's not powder coated. That's why they powder coat carbon steel blades in that black powder coating, is to keep them from rusting before you buy them. Because if you pick up a knife in the store and it already looks like this, are you going to buy it versus one that's brand new? This looks like a used knife. No, you would not pay full price for this knife. Looks like somebody's already had it for 6 months and brought it back as an exchange to get a refund, and maybe you're buying an inferior used product. So that's why they powder coat carbon steel. Keeps it pretty underneath that. You can just take that off if you want to. I generally always do. But this knife is going to tarnish. It is going to patina over time. There is nothing you can really do to prevent that. Light sanding will take it off if you really don't want it on there. Also, you could polish it off if you want to. But that's really it. This is an issue you're going to have to deal with using a carbon steel blade. Now, the upside to carbon steel is that I can use this as a striker. If I have to, the spine of this knife right here can be a steel striker, and it shreds a ferro rod like nobody's business. Big plus. Now the stainless steel version, this knife, this is my food prep knife, okay? This is the one I'm going to use to process food. The reason for that is, the reason I need a different tool is because this tarnish here will get a lot worse with certain foods. When I cut into certain things, it will really tarnish the blade. And not only that, but the flavor of the steel will end up in the food. It changes the flavor of the food, and it's god awful sometimes. You cannot use a carbon steel knife to just process all kinds of food. There are certain things you can, certain things you really shouldn't, because it changes the flavor and it does tarnish the blade. So, stainless steel for cooking. This is going to be my food prep knife. It goes into my bag, and this knife is what I process all my food with when I'm at camp. This knife, this is my workhorse. It's for everything else. Okay, this is the knife that I use to carve feather sticks, notches and stuff for trap triggers and what have you. This is one I cut most of my cordage with. You know, this is the actual camp work knife. Rarely do I ever use it to process food. Now you can also put a thin coat of some kind of an oil on the blade when you put one away if you want to kind of try to prevent rust and stuff like that. But I don't like to do that because I'll forget. And that oil, even though it's a very thin layer, is going to go rancid, and I'm going to pull my knife out, I'm going to start cutting up an apple and eating it, and then I'm going to remember, oh, you know, no. So I carry two. One for food prep, one for everything else. Now while both of these will shred a ferro rod really well, because it's the same knife, just different steel, nice sharp 90-degree spine right there. It'll shred a rod pretty good. The downside to that, and the sole reason I chose to buy the carbon steel version and carry it most of the time, is because in a pinch, if I have my flint and steel kit, if something happens to that, and I can find me another piece of flint somewhere, just lying around, and make some char cloth. This knife can be used as a steel striker in a pinch. Not there. Said this before in other videos. When I use a piece of flint, I like to try to find a place on the flint that feels like it's sharp. Like if I'm not careful, I might cut myself right there. Get the spark to go where I want it to go. Pop up on there. There we go. Finally, it jumped right where I want it. But as you can see, right there, I now have an ember. So, I now have the ability to use my carbon steel knife to make fire. Right? Not happening with this knife. Not with stainless. So, both knives have their strong points and both knives have their weak points. This one, not so great for food prep. Great for everything else. This one, great for 99% of what you want to do plus food prep, but you cannot use it as a striker. However, it will still shred a ferro rod. So, I do highly recommend. These guys have a price point of like 15 bucks. Okay, this is not the Garberg. This is the MG Companion, okay, in carbon steel. And this is the stainless steel version, same knife. Between these two knives, you've spent $30. And you got two knives that can do a wide range of things. So, that's what I recommend. And if you guys have been wondering, really, what's the difference? Why should I choose one over the other? There you go. Now you have it. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget, if you'd like to and you haven't yet, reach down there and hit that subscription button if you'd like to subscribe to the channel. Questions or comments, drop those down below. If you do subscribe, you can always reach over there and hit the notification bell. Select all notifications if you want to be notified when I upload future videos. Thank you guys very, very much for your views and for your support, and I will see you on the next one.